who was walking up and down, speaking by fits and starts, often stopping with his eyes fixed on the ground, moving hurriedly on again like one distracted, and seeming almost unconscious of what he said or did. This, however, was his manner, and it was so embarrassing to John that he sat quite passive for a long time, not knowing what to do. At length he rose. Mr. Haredale stared at him for a moment as though he had quite forgotten his being present, then shook hands with him and opened the door. Hugh, who was, or feigned to be, fast asleep on the antechamber floor, sprang up on their entrance, and throwing his cloak about him grasped his stick and lantern and prepared to descend the stairs. "Stay," said Mr. Haredale. "Will this man drink?" "Drink! He'd drink the Thames up if it was strong enough, sir," replied John Willet. "You'll have something when he gets home. He's better without it now, sir." "Nay, half the distance is done," said Hugh. "What a hard master you are! I shall go home the better for one glassful half-way. Come." As John made no reply, Mr. Haredale brought out a glass of liquor and gave it to Hugh, who, as he took it in his hands, threw part of it upon the floor. "What do you mean by splashing your drink about a gentleman's house, sir?" said John. "I'm drinking a toast," Hugh rejoined, holding the glass above his head and fixing his eyes on Mr. Haredale's face. "A toast to this house and its master." With that he muttered something to himself, and drank the rest, and setting down the glass preceded them without another word. John was a good deal scandalized by this observance, but seeing that Mr. Haredale took little heed of what Hugh said or did, and that his thoughts were otherwise employed, he offered no apology, and went in silence down the stairs, across the walk, and through the garden gate. They stopped upon the outer side for Hugh to hold the light while Mr. Haredale locked it on the inner, and then John saw with wonder, as he often afterwards related, that he was very pale, and that his face had changed so much and grown so haggard since their entrance that he almost seemed another man. They were in the open road again, and John Willet was walking on behind his escort as he had come, thinking very steadily of what he had just now seen, when Hugh drew him suddenly aside, and almost at the same instant 3 horsemen swept past. The nearest brushed his shoulder even then, who, checking their steeds as suddenly as they could, stood still and waited for their coming up. End of chapter 34.